Hi, and welcome to the UCABC COVID-19 Vaccine Literacy webinar. My name is Maurice Earle, and I am the president of the Unity Center Association for Black Cultures, also known as UCABC. Before we begin, UCABC would like to acknowledge that the work of our organization takes place on the unceded, traditional, ancestral territories of Indigenous First Nations. We acknowledge the host nations and their stewardship of these lands since the time immemorial, and thank them for their graciousness in welcoming us to work, live, and play on their lands. We recognize the ongoing struggles for Indigenous people to have their sovereignty recognized and to combat the anti-Indigenous oppression they face. In doing so, we affirm that our ongoing commitment to recognize the inherent Indigenous rights and title, the implementation without qualification of the UN Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the UNDRIP, and we support the 94 calls to action by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. UCABC is a registered nonprofit organization that was founded to pursue the goals of unifying, promoting, and integrating Black cultures within Canadian society. Our mission is to commit to building a hub to enable programs to reflect and acknowledge the history, heritage, and the cultural diversity of Black Canadians and other Black people and all individuals who associate with the cultures of the African diaspora in Canadian society. We also want to celebrate the social and economic contributions of Black Canadians and other Black people in Canada. We also like to support the integration of individuals and families into local communities. And last but not least, we want to be a conduit to the broader society and to key decision makers across the sectors to highlight the uniqueness of Black peoples. Today's webinar is designed to provide you with the facts about COVID-19 vaccines from professionals within our community. It is strictly an information session and, more importantly, a platform for our community to have their questions answered. Today's presenter is Dr. Samuel Kintu, MD, CCFP, who currently practices in Toronto, Ontario, with an emphasis on general practice and pain medicine. Born and raised in the Greater Vancouver area, he's completed his MD at the University of British Columbia and subsequently his residency at the University of Toronto. We also have a special guest, Dr. Gina Oakley, MD, MSc, FCFP, Dr. PH, and she is a Tier 1 Canada Research Chair in Global Control of HPV-related diseases and prevention, and professor at the University of British Columbia in the School of Population and Public Health. She's also a senior public health scientist at the BC Centre for Disease Control and senior research advisor at the BC Women's Hospital Health Centre. Dr. Oakley is currently principal investigator on over $10 million in research grants, and she has received funding from the NIH, PHAC, CIHR, Michael Smith Foundation for Health Research, Canadian Foundation for Innovation, and private foundations including BC Women's Hospital Foundation, among others. Her research is focused on both the public health and clinical aspects of reproductive health, sexually transmitted infections, HPV screening, and the HPV vaccine. And her findings have been highly influential in setting and directing health policy both in Canada and globally.